My name's Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to the last podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value by listening to this podcast. Well, today is going to be a real short day because I'm just getting back into the swing of things, but I really wanted to talk about new beginnings. We get to a point in our life where, something might happen within our life. Like everybody, if you've known me for a while listening to this podcast, I lost my wife a couple of months ago, back in April. And it's been really a rough road for me. It's been hard to move on and continue living without her. But today is one of those days where you say, okay, I'm going to move on and I'm going to start a new chapter in my life. And it's not easy. It's one of the most difficult and scariest things that I ever had to do in my life. And I realized that I have to embrace this. I believe in God has something more for me in life, and I really want to embrace this new beginning. So we're here talking about new beginnings, starting completely over. And have you ever been in that position where you don't realize, okay, what is it I want to do from this point on? I mean, there's so many people who have their minds made up at what it is that they would like to do. I'm at a point in my life where I've always known what I wanted to do. And this is the first time in my life I really have no clue. I've actually done so much, and I wanted to be there for my wife, my sister, and my other family members. But this is the one time in my life I'm going to be living for me. And all the kids are grown and it's just me. And that is scary in itself. But today I was talking to someone at the gym, and it reminds me how God moves within our lives. And although it might be scary, although the unknown is really what's scary, and how things are playing out in our world and our society, things are really changing rapidly. Even technology is moving at the speed of light right now. Everything is changing. So when I went to look for a place, an apartment, and I said to myself, wow, at the rates that apartments are increasing, I mean, you might get a price delivered to you today, and that price is obsolete 30 days from now, even a week from now, where that rent might be like $1,500 today. And by next year, this time, that rent is probably $1,700. That's how fast everything is changing. So when you talk about new beginnings, you say to yourself, okay, I have a lot to think about, what I want to do, where I want to go, and what I want to do with the rest of my life. I need to make that count. Have you ever felt that way before? You want to have a new beginning. You want to start something new. You're moving to a different area, a new state, or a new country, and now you're starting all over again. Yeah, you have a little bit of excitement, you have a little bit of fear, and you're saying to yourself, I am literally by myself. Now, I have God and me, and that's it. So I know there are a lot of people say if God is driving you, then you can't go wrong. And I believe that. So I am going to embrace this new beginning, but it is scary regardless. I don't know what to expect, what to think. And I realized that I am for the first time doing everything by myself. And usually I have my wife, even my sister, and the two women who was most influential in my life, they're both gone. And I've also had my aunt, my grandmother at one point. And, these women were very instrumental in helping, shaping me and guide me. But when you have everybody go and you're the last man standing, so to speak, now you really have to say, okay, it's all me. What do you want to do for you? You're always doing something for someone else. So what do you want to do for yourself? That is the question. That's the $1 million question right there. What do I want to do for me? How do I want to please myself? How do I, and when I look at that, I realize I'm at the last quarter of my life. It's actually not about what I want to please. How could I please God? How could I be impactful in society? How could I be a blessing to others as God has been a blessing to me? So it takes the shift off myself now and I realize that, okay, so I'm still going to do for others. I want to still be a blessing. I want God to use me with the rest of my life, that I might bless others some way, some form, in some fashion. And that is exciting because I don't know what to expect. And when God is at the helm, wow, anything is possible. Isn't that awesome? So that's where I'm at today, and that is the beginning of my course. It starts literally today. This week, we're moving out of this house that we've been in here for a while, for some time, and everybody's going their own separate ways. They're basically, moving on, and this is a new beginning for just all of us. The beginning to try to move on now and live, because that's what we must do. We must all live. But as the Bible would say, and Jesus said, I come that you might not live just to live, but to live abundantly. So I want to be able to live richly and in God's favor, where I could be a blessing to others. So that's my goal. And in my new journey, we'll see what happens. But this podcast has definitely been therapeutic for me. If you don't have a podcast and want to get out there, get your voice heard, go ahead and do it. It's one of the things that I am so happy and proud of, me having the courage to get on here and talk. And because I might be going through something that somebody else might be going through, and it might just give them a way to say, if he could do it, I could do it too. And even some people who want to reach out by email, you can reach out to me at lastpodcast443@gmail.com, and I'll reach right back out. Again, my name is Dave.